make homemade meatballs with spaghetti for supper tonight, and I always make me a whole bunch of meatballs so I can freeze some, and then later down the line, a couple of weeks, next month or the next month, I'll have some that I can just make my spaghetti sauce and put those in there and it's done. So this is a one-time, make it easy, a couple more times deal. I'm gonna take my rings off though so we can get in here and make our meatballs together. Put them down right there. In this bowl, I've got 10 pounds of hamburger meat. And it's, I think it says 73-27% fat, and I think one package is 80-20. I just picked up a bunch of it, and I do get some with some fat in it so it can flavor my meatballs and also help to keep them moist. So I do use a little bit of fat, and I'm hoping to try to get a picture of this whenever I get everything in here. Y'all don't let me forget, okay? Okay, let's see. One thing we're gonna do, we need to salt it, don't we? Let me find my teaspoon here. He usually stays in here, but I had washed him. There he is. There he is. Let's see. And you know, this is 10 pounds, so what I do is I kind of sprinkle it along like I'm seasoning each block of my hamburger. So far that's like two good, generous teaspoons of salt, but that's still not too much. Okay, I'll keep this in here because I'm going to use that for my spaghetti sauce we're going to make in a little bit. Maybe. No, I usually don't put any in there. And fresh ground pepper. Y'all know I don't use black pepper. I use a melange that's got black and green and white and pink and red. But anyway, you can just use black, whatever kind of pepper you want. Y'all see I'm putting a good bit of pepper because this is 10 pounds of hamburger meat. I know, I'm going to keep reminding us, huh? I'll show y'all my peppers in case y'all haven't ever seen one video that's got my pepper in it. Here we go. It's this. It's called a pepper melange. And you see all the different colors of pepper in there? I just like it. But y'all, I do have regular old pepper too. See? See? I got him too. I'll put a little bit of him. That'll make everybody feel better. I'll do that too, huh? There we go. Okay. All right, let's see. Some of the things I like to put in here is oregano, some dried oregano. I love this. And again, I don't measure this. This is 10 pounds though, and I'm just gonna show y'all how I do. I just kind of shake it in there like that. Like I'm just kind of coating over all the meat like that, okay? I'm gonna save that too because I want that in my spaghetti sauce, so I'm not putting that up. This is onion powder. And same thing. I'm just shaking. We're just getting it where our meatballs will have nice Italian seasoning on the inside. And parsley, this is how I can sneak some parsley in on my family. Get a little bit of something good and green, good for them. Same thing, I just shake. And I'm gonna put that in my spaghetti sauce too. And then granulated garlic. And none of this has salt, okay? This is all unsalted because I already put some salt so I don't get like garlic salt. And shake. You don't have to make so many meatballs that you putting some up in the freezer. You could just do a one-time deal, but it's so good because next time you don't have to make the meatballs, and you don't have to cook meatballs. You can just brown your hamburger meat. I do that sometimes too. I switch back and forth, so whichever you want. Well, we like meatballs every once in a while. It's a nice little change. Okay, and I've got some eggs, and in this I was gonna put 3 or 4 regular sized eggs, but these are little eggs. My hens, some of my hens are young, 6-month-olds, and then some of them are grown. So y'all see, that's my grown hens, and y'all see this little egg. So that's why I've got about 6 of the little ones out in here, because they're little right now. They're practicing, but they're going to get bigger and bigger as my hens do. So I'm just proud they're making. So I check each egg, make sure everything's good with it. It always is, but That's just how I learned it way long time ago when I was little, that you check each egg separately. You don't just dump them over in what you're doing. Because if it wasn't good, you kind of messed everything up, huh? Let me dump you before I do this one. Yes. And that way too, if you get shells, you can fish out your shells before you put them in there. And the egg in here, y'all, helps to hold your meatballs together or bind your meat. That's what the egg is for. So your meatballs just don't kind of fall apart in the sauce. So that's why we do eggs. Whew, all those spices. Excuse me, y'all. Make me need to sneeze. I'm washing my hands since I was handling the eggs. Goodness gracious. Up my nose. Let's see here, y'all. And something that I do to keep my meatballs moist is some olive oil in here. And again, no measurements. I just do like this, okay? Kind of like that. Whatever that is. I don't know. And one last thing is some breadcrumbs. And I buy these. They're called Italian breadcrumbs. Right here. And they've got everything that I've basically been putting in there as well. You see, they've got parsley and they've got garlic and onion and Italian flavorings like that, oregano. So, but this is breadcrumbs, and breadcrumbs helps to, it also helps to hold it together, and it also helps to make even more meatballs than just the meat. But it helps with the texture a little bit, because if it's solid meat, sometimes it's too packy for you and the meatball isn't as tender. So this kind of helps make it a little tender as well. And you don't have to use store-bought breadcrumbs. You can make your own, and I have. But today I'm using store-bought. I'm going on into town today. I've got to go to the bank and the post office. I've been doing some paperwork this morning. Y'all see I'm just sprinkling like that, okay? I probably didn't even put a whole cup. Maybe I put a whole cup, because I'm looking at this container and it's still pretty full, but I think I probably put about a cup. But I'm gonna do all that and then I'm gonna go work out. This isn't really gonna make a good picture, but I'm gonna take one anyway. And now it's time to get in there with what God gave us for tools, is our hands. And just get this all mixed in, and I'll kind of look at it as I'm mixing it and see, well, does it look like it needs a little bit more breadcrumbs or this or that or the other, maybe a little more olive oil and all. But it smells wonderful right now, and they've not even got to cooking. I've got my oven on, y'all, to 375, and I'll cook them, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes. And what I'll do is I'll just get one out after about that long and check him, cut him in half, and maybe have him for a snack if he's done. And that way I'll be able to tell if he is done. And if he's not, then I'll stick it back in there. But usually they're done, about like that. And sometimes I've been in a bad hurry, like when my boys were little and we had homework and everything, and I stuck them in there at 400, just whatever. But today I'm doing 375 because I think I've got enough time. What y'all do this morning? I got in my chicken coop and I cleaned on it a little bit this morning and got them watered and fed real good and gathered eggs. Then I came inside and I read my Bible and I drank my coffee. I did all that before I drank my coffee, right? I know. And then I did a little paperwork in the office, and I stopped long enough so I could come down here and vacuum everything, and I rearranged the furniture in the living room. Something we women love to do is rearrange furniture in living rooms. I don't know, just a little something different, like the seasons are changing, and so you just want a little change. And so I got everything vacuumed good and I mopped, and thought I'll get in here and do this with y'all, and then I'm gonna go to town. I gotta do me a workout. I'm gonna do P90X today with Miss Gina. She does it up at Anytime Fitness, washing my hands. And She's so sweet and caring. She just, you can tell she has a passion for what she does. And so, plus I love all the girls to work out with in there, so we all kind of visit while we're working out. It's sort of a fellowship time as much as it is doing something good for your body. I am putting a little bit more olive oil. Like I say, I can kind of smell, and it smells Italian-y, so we're good, huh? All right, let me put that olive oil, mix it around. I think this is pretty good. What y'all think? Y'all think it is? Yeah. There we go. And y'all see I'm kind of keeping it loose. You don't want to just pack your meat up real tight. Ugh. Makes it tough and tight and almost like it's dry, like you squeezed everything out. Y'all know what I'm talking about? I bet y'all had that, like a hamburger that way, or maybe even a meatball that way. And you're just like, wow, I gotta try to swallow this thing. I've had that. All right, y'all. Let's see here. Let me make us a little room. All you spices and breadcrumbs, y'all get moved back, because I'm gonna get some pans in here. This is something I use, y'all. So all my meatballs be kind of the same, and also it's a lot quicker. When I didn't have these, I would pick it up and try to do them about the same, and it just took longer. So this is something I've learned to use, and I spray it. It's a melon baller, and I spray it real good with some non-stick cooking spray. Also, I spray my sheet pans. I'm doing this on big sheet pans, and I covered them in foil just so it'll help me a little bit get them clean easier. So we need that, don't we? We need all the little tips and tricks. And just to show y'all what a melon baller is, this is an ice cream scoop, okay? You see its size, and y'all know about what an ice cream scoop size is, and that's my melon baller. So it's a little smaller. It's at least half the size. Y'all see that? Anyway, and I've made meatballs this big as the ice cream scoop too, and they're cool and they're good. Like you put like 1 or 2 on your pile of pasta, so that's fun too. But these I like because it can feed a crowd. And then I just start scooping some, some melon balls out here, with some meatballs out here, like that. And I'll be doing this for a while, won't I? Yeah. I'm gonna show you real quick what I do. After I get them all on here, they kind of look like this, you know, and that doesn't really look like a meatball, but so then you take it, and I don't squeeze and roll and roll and roll. I just lightly press, okay, just lightly like that. That way I'm not making them real packy, okay. And that I'm telling you, it's a big difference. He's not all packed down and tough and dry, okay. Again, just lightly forming him into a nice little meatball. So I'll go back and do all this, and I've got 2 pans. That might be enough. I might have to dig me out some more pans, y'all. But I'll show y'all. I won't keep y'all on here forever. I'll come back on here with y'all, and we'll finish it. And I'm back. It took me 17 minutes to make all these meatballs, so that's not too bad, huh? That's worth it for 2 more quick meals, or maybe even 3 more quick meals. This is a lot of meatballs, and I don't count. My husband counts everything, and I do not. Don't see that? That's a whole lot of meatballs, isn't it? We've got 2 little trays like this. 2 big ones, yeah. It's gonna be a whole bunch of spaghetti and meatball times, isn't it? All right, y'all. Turn y'all around here. I did go on and turn my oven up to 400, just so I can put them in there and get a real good jump start on my meatballs. And I should have moved my racks around prior to this, but I did not. Good thing I got my oven on 400, huh? Because I'm just cooling it down, aren't I? All right, let's get y'all in here. Get y'all cooking up. They barely fit in there, do they? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And then they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 400, and I let them go 20 minutes. And then we'll check them. And if I check them in a minute, they look like they're cooking a little too fast, I'll turn them back down on 375. Okay, what did I say? 8 deep about, and 18 rows. Let's see how many meatballs we might need. Let's see. $144. So approximately 144 meatballs. So that way my husband will be proud I counted, or I kind of counted, didn't I? All right, y'all. Now we're ready to make the sauce. We're ready to get that salsa rolling. I'm gonna turn y'all back around here. And we will get started on our sauce. Let's see what kind of a bowl, pan, not bowl, but pan I want to use. I think I'll use this big one. Not that it's going to be overly big for just John and me some sauce, but that way it won't be bubbling, popping out, and making the stove dirty, huh? Yeah, we'll just do that. Okay, y'all. Now I'll show you the things we need for that. We're going to need us a blender. We're going to need us some, I get the already Italian flavored diced tomatoes. This has basil, garlic, and oregano. Just whatever you want to use though. I use this spaghetti seasoning. Thick and zesty. And I will put some more oregano. And that's the only other extra thing I add in there actually. I don't put any salt because this has got, you know, plenty of salt. And these aren't unsalted, so we're good on salt now. And then I'll also put 2 cans of this tomato paste, and it's also got Italian seasonings already in it. I'm going to open these things up and not bore y'all, and I'll get right back on here and show you. Okay, guys, I opened my stuff. So I'm taking my tomato paste, and I'm putting him down in here, and this is just to get him whirred up, I guess, with some water. So he won't be clumpy. And I do, sometimes I go on and put this in my pan and I brown it a bit. Because Miss Virginia Dana taught me that. I worked with her at the vet's office. Her sweet soul, she taught me, her husband's Italian, Mr. Steve. And she taught me if you brown on your, or cook on your tomato paste a bit, it gives it a deeper flavor and cooks the rawness out, and it does. And I do that occasionally, but I'm trying to do this quick and easy style without adding too many steps. Y'all saying, I'm not doing all that, Amy, you know? So you can do that later like me. Sometimes I do that, sometimes I don't. All right, and I'll go on and stick my spaghetti seasoning down in here with my 2 cans of tomato paste. Like that. And I'm gonna put a good bit of water, okay, y'all, because that paste is thick, 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 thick. And this will get all my spaghetti seasoning mixed in with that and won't be clumpy. And all that good stuff, huh? All right. I know that's loud, y'all. Okay, y'all see how thick that was? Let me make sure. Let me rinse out my little pan. I'm funny like that. I like to give it a good rinse before I cook in it. Probably not necessary, I know. But anyway, see how thick it still is? Let's see if I can show y'all. It's still nice and thick, and that's why I put it in there first, because next I'm gonna put this can of these, I believe these are diced, yeah, diced Italian flavored tomatoes, and it will help to kind of rinse this out. Rinse it out, if you will. I'm just gonna add a tad bit of that, get that extra tomato juice out of the bottom. Lots of people want to know how to make my spaghetti sauce. They just like it One is Ethan Gillian. He worked for us for a few years, y'all, while he was finishing up his college this past year, and he was quite a joy, and he helped get our farm up and running with my husband and our youngest son and our oldest son. It's been a family effort, and we consider Ethan one of our kiddos too, even though he's got two great parents, Joe and Jerry. But we just love him. He's like family to us, I guess what I'm trying to mean. And he wanted his girlfriend Betsy learn how to make this, and she told me that. So I'm gonna have to put my rings back on before I forget them, y'all. I'm gonna have to be sure and tag Ethan and Betsy, because she told me, he said that I want you to learn from Miss Amy how to make her spaghetti sauce, because I would cook for them when they worked here on the farm. Sometimes I'd cook lunch, maybe a couple times during the week, and spaghetti was on the menu a bunch, and he liked it. Then my youngest grandson, Luke, he has to tell me every time, Grandma, I just love your spaghetti. He's sweet like that. And Addie and Bryson, my other grandchildren, they love it too. When they spend the night, Grandma makes spaghetti, and they love it. Okay, y'all, and I just poured a little more water in there to go on and get all the goodie out of my blender. I wanted to get all that goodie. That's some good flavor, isn't it? Here we go. See, it makes a pretty good amount there. Sometimes I'll double this and I freeze this too, y'all. So then all I have to do is thaw it out and make noodles. So you make a mess one time, and then you look like you just been cooking away the next time and the next time and the next time. I mean, right? Right. Okay, y'all, and I always add some more oregano because I just love the flavor of oregano. You don't have to do that. We've got that spaghetti seasoning in there, but I just love me some oregano. And I think I will add a little more garlic. Sometimes I will chop up an onion real fine and garlic real fine, and I'll saute that in some olive oil, and I'll blend that in here with my sauce, because my family does not like giblets of stuff. You know, I've talked about that before. Everything's got to be smooth sailing. So anyway, sometimes I do that, but not today. All right, y'all. And this is gonna be it. We're gonna check our meatballs here in a little bit. I'm gonna get me a wooden spoon. This is one of those pans you're not supposed to scratch, so I got me a wooden spoon. My youngest son, John Tyler, loves this thing. I guess because it looks old timey. I don't know. I see this is pretty thick. I'll bring y'all over here when I finish putting it together. I hear some of my working crew coming in right now. Yes, I do. Hey guys, I did taste my sauce, and I put over here on the heat, and it does need a little bit of salt, okay? So I'm gonna get back on here with y'all and show you. We're gonna do just a little, like a sprinkling of salt, okay? Pinch and a half. Hey guys, I came back on here to show y'all how I finished seasoning on this. I just taste and seasoned to taste. But my camera was blinking saying I have my maximum recording time, so I'm not sure I got it. So what I did is I did add another pinch and a half of salt because I tasted it. And let me get me another spoon. And also, that's a good bit of sauce, and I just did that one package of that spaghetti seasoning in there and a little oregano. So I think I'm going to put, it's like maybe another half of a package that I have when I do my red chicken. I know y'all know the red chicken. And I may not put all this. I'm just going to sprinkle some more of this seasoning like that. And then I'm going to do this. Stir it around. Get me some pepper. Like that. I bet that's probably going to be good. And then y'all remember those meatballs, they've got a lot of seasoning in them, so they're not going to actually pull any seasoning out of this sauce. So they'll actually lend to the flavor, won't they? That's gonna be good. Very good. And something too, y'all. If you don't want to make the meatballs, all you have to do is brown you some hamburger meat and salt and pepper that hamburger meat. And then you can make the sauce and mix it. And I do that many times. I sure do. I kind of just switch back and forth between the meatballs and the spaghetti. Just whatever I'm feeling like or have time to do. All right, y'all. I'm going to put this. I've got it on low heat and I'm just letting it simmer. Just maybe 20 minutes or so. You don't have to a long time. I'm going to go work out though. So I'm going to put it on really, really, really low and let it simmer. I'm going to get my meatballs in here and they've got about 2 minutes left and then we're going to check them, okay? Y'all, I put my breadcrumbs after I open them. They're in that cardboard little container, but I don't use them often enough and they'll tend to go stale or, you know, not last as long. So I'll stick them in a jar like this and I'll put them back in my pantry and they just seem to last longer. But even if you didn't use them that long, because I'll put them in meatloaf too. These are real good in meatloaf. Even though you're not trying to make it Italian, it's still got good flavors because it's garlic and onion and things of that nature. So anyway, I do that. But if you still didn't use them very often, you could put this in your freezer if you wanted to. I don't know if I do it in a jar though because of freezing with the lid on. But maybe a freezer bag, or you can stick it in your refrigerator. But anyway, I just show y'all what I do because they just don't seem to last very long in that cardboard container. They sort of start tasting stale and don't have as much flavor, I guess. Y'all, they've been in there exactly 27 minutes, and then I let them go to 30, and it's on 400, okay? Because it's a bunch of meatballs, huh? And I got me one out for a little taste test. And he's done in the middle. You see that? I've already eaten about half of him. Very good. We'll get them out. When I get back home from working out, I'll cook us some spaghetti. Y'all know how to do that. But I'll cook us some spaghetti and some water. And salt your water, okay? Because you want to salt your noodles. You don't want them to be in unsalted water, and that's the only time to get your noodles with some salty flavoring in there. So salt your water pretty good. And then this Parmesan, I gotta say, I'm sorry, like, you still have it on you, but I keep it in the freezer, and so it's good and fresh. And I'll shave that on top of our meatballs and our spaghetti. But let's get our meatballs out, and I'm gonna let them cool while I'm gonna go work out, because then I'm gonna put them in the freezer. Freeze bags. John's here. He said 1 or 2 of them might come up missing. Y'all seen it cooks all that fatty fat out. But they're still nice and moist because I took them out and I've been checking them. So you don't let them go too long. And I had done that before. Back when my kids were younger and I had homework and a million things going on, I cooked them too long, but I put them on in that sauce and we ate them. All right, y'all. They can sit there pretty as you please. And I'm going to put some into my sauce right now. Y'all can still see me over here, can't you? There we go. And let's see here. Get me a slotted spoon so I can just get out the good meat. And you just decide how many you want to put in there in your sauce. That's up to you. Well, I'm just scooting him around. Let me get me. Let's see. I'll probably put at least 1/3 of this sheet pan, if not more, in here. Baby, you'll be so proud. I counted the meatballs. It was 144. I told him that I don't ever count and you do, so I went back and counted them.
That is hilarious.
John Murray, he counts everything, y'all. One time he was in the hospital when he was a kid. He said he laid in the bed and counted the tiles in the ceiling. Then he counted the holes in the tiles in the ceiling. Those little bitty pinholes. All right, y'all. I just put enough in here in this sauce. I'm trying to gauge this, y'all. I'm putting half of this pan because John and I will not eat all this tonight, but My granddaughter's coming to spend the night with me this weekend because a bunch of boys are spending the night over at my son and daughter-in-law's home because they're having Luke's birthday party and we're all going to it. And so, Stinky Boys will be staying over there, so she's going to come stay with Grandpa and me, Papa and me, and go to church with us Sunday. So she'll want to eat some spaghetti too. And whatever's left over of that, I can freeze though, if we weren't doing that. And we can have it another time already ready. But that gives me another half a pan and then a whole other pan, so I'll probably do like, I'll do 3 frozen bags, and that's going to be 3 more big pots full of spaghetti and meatballs. So trying to just help y'all gauge this or show y'all how long it'll last. But y'all see it's so full of meatballs that some of them are still sticking out. So that's pretty meatball-y, huh? All right, guys, y'all have a good rest of the day. I'm going to go work out and come back, and John and I are going to go feed his deer in the woods. And then we're going to have us a good spaghetti supper. Bye-bye. Okay, darling, get you one and try it.
We'll try
You're going 8 minutes. 8 minutes exactly, and tell me what you think.
That's just right. Just right.
Just right, like Goldilocks?
Like Goldilocks, just
Okay.
right.
Let me pour up my noodles, drain them, and I'll be back. Okay, guys, I drained my pasta, and I'm putting some olive oil on here. It's still blinking like it's going to quit recording. Isn't that thing silly?